welcome to Haris, Diya, Bhavna, Self Shakti Coach, Itisha, Anshu Sahani, hi sweetheart, Seema, Vikas, Gadia, Raisoni, Neha, Kirti, Dr. Pallavi, Coach Kumolika Gupta, Kaizin, Karanjawala. Finally, I made it to your live. Been watching recorded so far. So happy to have you here, darling. Coach Kumolika Singh Saubana, Swapnil Khamitkar, hey ma'am, Shruti, Shreya, Life Road, Siva, Ranjini, hi Puja, I was going through a dip and suddenly your Insta Live notification popped up. Oh, so happy that you made it. Lalita, Vedagiri, Saubana, Princess, Aditi, Rohit, I've shared the details with your team. Manisha, Murnali, hello gorgeous. Let me know if anything else is required. They'll be in touch with you, not to worry. Diya, there's no audio. Just log in, log out and see if you can make it work. Anita, hi, nice to see you back. Arisa, hi, Puja, looking gorgeous. Life coach Shiva Ranjani is asking, my question is, how do you manage or control the multiple thoughts in our head, and what can be the first step to handle this? So what you're asking basically is how to control overthinking. And I think the minute we move into overthinking, one of the things we have to do is shift from our mind into our body. So my suggestion is always firstly see if you can stand up and get into movement. When you are in movement, your mind moves from your mind to your body. So if you keep sitting and keep thinking the same thought, then that thought has a whole pipe behind it. So let's say I got upset and angry about something, or I got fearful and worried about something. Now we have a pipe in our brain that reminds us of all of the incidents where we have got upset and angry before. And when they start to get accumulated, that emotion which was just a trigger because of something turns into this volcanic eruption inside of our mind, and we tend to overreact and overthink everything then. So the easiest way to get out of overthinking is, one is you can actually wear a band on your hand, and the minute you feel like you're going into overthinking, snap out of it. So snapping the band literally is a great reminder that I'm not going to go down this downward spiral. Okay, I'm not going to entertain this thought. This time, when Puneet and I were traveling, normally at the airports, I'm very slow, he's very fast. He'll complain about how I'm too slow. I'll complain about how how he's very fast. And I saw him at every walkway end, he would just stop and wait. And I saw myself going a little faster just to be able to catch up with him, right? So what happens is that instead of him speaking against me or me speaking against him, both of us realize that we actually are now willing to accommodate one another, which means I don't want to do the downward spiral of why does he walk so fast? Why can't he wait for me? He can walk slower, I can't walk faster. So can you see how I can indulge myself, and by the end of the airport trip, I can be literally sitting in the taxi upset, or I can be laughing at, what a tortoise I am and what a rabbit he is and how much we have to cope with each other. So it all depends on which angle you're going to look at it from. And if you're going to look at it from the negative angle, then learning to snap out of it is very, very helpful, where literally I will tell myself, no Puja, this thought is not empowering you. This thought is not going to help you. This thought is only going to lead you to a mess. So why even going down that road? Can you look at what is actually the reality? And then if I can go a step further, what am I grateful for? And the minute we replace any negative thought with gratitude, that at least, I like the word at least a lot. So let's say I'm feeling very hot and I want to complain about the weather. I'll say at least I have an AC. At least I have breeze. At least I have a window that I can open up. At least, and you know what? Anything after at least, any gratitude gives you that feeling that, I don't have to go down. It's like a dhakkan or a cap you can put on the downward spiral pipe or slide, right? So see if you can use any of these to kind of keep yourself aware and awakened that our mind is our biggest enemy, and its job is to make us feel emotions in a very deep manner. And guess what? Most deep emotions are negative emotions. So staying on top rather than going down deep is one of the things we want to practice, literally practice, like the science of not allowing your mind to pull you down. Yeah. Shruti Jain saying, hi, I'm finally watching the movie The Secret. It's a great movie. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, it came out, I think, back in 2006, 2007 and had such a deep impact on my life. So I'm so glad that it's still so relevant and so beautiful. Puja Agarwal, hello, Pooja. Hello. So cute. Upasna is saying, I wish you call my name too. Why not, Upasna? What happened to my settings? Something got changed. Doesn't matter. Hi Pooja, you look lovely. Was this the setting? No. Which was the setting? Oh man. No, I don't even remember what setting I had. I'll just leave it at this. How to control instant anger, madam? Deepika is asking. Deepika, actually, honestly speaking, anger has so many levels. So first is your attitude towards anger. So if you keep looking at anger as something that someone else is doing to you, you will keep suffering. My suggestion is first start to consider anger as feedback. What do I mean by anger as feedback? The most important thing for you to think is that, you know what is it that I'm not being able to control that I desire control over? Because 80% of the time, the anger is, we are not able to control a situation or a person. And why is it so important for me to control this situation or this person? Can I let this anger go? Can I do some deep breathing? Can I go hide in the bathroom till I'm able to fix whatever is going on in my emotional up, down that we feel when anger starts to hit us, correct? And so I think the questions you ask yourself as you're starting to rise in anger, do I want my anger to win or do I want to win today? And I know years where I've come into the room and celebrated and patted myself on the back because I didn't lose it, you know. So I'd love for you to start to keep record. Maybe you can keep a chart where you go, you know what? I'm not, and every time you win, every time you don't give in to your anger, I want you to put a star or a heart, and it's your job to collect, let's say, 10 stars, and for every 10 stars you get to shop for a top. I don't know, anything that you love. Shop for a lipstick, shop for something that you enjoy. Getting yourself into the awakened state is the most important part. And so if your anger is controlling you, remember you are the slave to your emotion. If you are controlling your anger, that means you've mastered your emotions. It's not about who is making you angry. It is about, instead of reacting, can you choose to respond? And a lot of times I don't have the capacity to respond at that time because the anger is still rising within me. So all I do is I remove myself from that space to only come back and say, you know what, right now, whatever I say, I know I will regret later on. So I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to come back to you as soon as I'm slightly better or in a more controlled emotional state. And the duty of the person who removes himself is to always, you have to come back. You can't wait for the other person now to approach you because you had chosen to retreat. So you have to come back to tell the person, okay, now I'm better, let's talk about it. And can I tell you, over time, the amount of respect people will start to have for you for seeing this level of emotional maturity, it's a different kind of respect you're going to gain for yourself and people are going to gain for you. Kirti, lately I've been feeling very stuck and I feel that I'm not in the right environment, living with my parents, though can't help it. But what can I do to better my environment? Kirti, to begin with, Kamal कीचड़ में ही खिलता है. So just know that even if you right now are feeling like your environment is not right, you have a lot that you can do to fix it. For example, first look at the space that you are in and how can you just improve it. Maybe it's cluttered, maybe you can make it clutter free, maybe you can get your room done in a manner that you like more, maybe you can save some money and spend some money on a wallpaper. So just enhancing your environment itself will make you feel better. And even if the whole house doesn't look like how you would like it to, your room can definitely look like how you would like it to, right? So that's one of the things you can do to improve your environment. And then of course, the more you fix you in the process, you'll start to see your environment getting better automatically. So the more you work with your own insides, the more you sit in your meditation, the more you write gratitude, your eyes will shift. In 2016, I made this new house, and Puneet and I had so many silly fights over the house on some paint color, some curtains, some sofa, and it just, when I moved into this house, the only thing I could think about was every part of this house was a reminder of the fight that we had on that particular wall or painting or furniture, and that's all the memories I had. So imagine coming into a new house with an environment that you completely dislike. And I remember the first 3 months, I did a lot of puja just to settle myself. If it was my bad period in astrology, then let me just settle myself. And the second thing I did was, I had this scale which I treated like my gratitude wand, and I would walk around giving love to the wallpaper, to the walls, to the plants, to the table, I would just walk around blessing them, literally imagining that if I had adopted a baby who was not mine, can I still love the baby even if it's not mine? Of course I can. Can I develop the heart to love something that I didn't have love for from day one or from the beginning? Of course we can. And I can tell you today how much I love this house, and I'm so grateful to this house. Because I did not get deeply connected to the house, I got very busy with my work. I delegated all of my duties to the staff. I trained them really well, and they started to manage the house, which made me completely free to manage my work. And I got so immersed in my work because I did not want to concentrate on the house. So sometimes, or a lot of times, we think that what is not serving us could actually be serving you. So look at it in this manner, that what in your environment not being great is actually teaching you something, or is a lesson for God preparing you for something bigger. See if you can work with any of that, yeah? Usha Aluri is asking, feeling exhausted as my 9-month-old baby has a cold and cough since the last 15 days, and it started after marriage vacation. How to remain positive, no proper sleep, literally exhausted. You know what, till your child turns 5, can I tell you, your relationship with your pediatrician and the sickness of the children, especially these days with the amount of pollution that our air has, this cold and cough has become literally a permanent part of every child's life. Literally every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, we are running, and it's taking so much longer to get cured. I think more than you feeling positive right now, I think it's more about you keeping yourself neutral or doing something that energizes you as you become the primary caregiver to your little baby. So anytime we are caregivers, one of the things very important is to take time off from that responsibility. So whether you hand your child over to your in-laws or to your parents or to your husband or to a staff member, what you need sometimes is just 2 hours by yourself, 1 hour by yourself. I remember just extending my baths at one point because जैसे ही बाहर निकलूंगी इतने लोगों ने इतना कुछ मांग लेना है मुझसे, so let me just have a longer bath. So I think first is to really own the fact that when your children are young, especially under the age of 5, there's a constant physical exhaustion that we go through in just attending to them. And you'll see it change. The minute they come into 1st grade, 2nd grade, they become more responsible with their own things. Physically, you don't have to do half as much, and you'll see a huge shift in energetically how much more energy you'll have for yourself and for the day. But till the child yours is only 9 months old, abhi to it is literally the first 2 years, forget 5, the first 2 years, so it is physical exhaustion when it comes to baby handling, right? So You need help, my darling. Now you look at and make a list today. Whose help can you take on Monday? Whose help can you take on Tuesday? Whose help can you take on Wednesday? Delegate duties around you. If you have siblings, you can handle their babies one day of the week. They can handle your baby one day of the week. There's so much that can be done, because you know what? The beauty of an Indian woman is we are so jugadu. Once we decide and we know the path, we know how to find solutions. So now that I've given you a few sets of how you can manage yourself, see where and from where can you ask for help. I think one of the biggest mistakes we make as women is we try to do it all. And the truth is, you can do it all, just not everything at the same time. So be kind to yourself, because it's a very long journey and you don't want to be so exhausted so fast. True? Swati, no need to use filters, sweetheart. We all love you the way you are. Thanks. So sweet of you. I love using different filters. They are so fun and I like to have fun on my journey. I'm sure if I remove the filter also, it won't matter to any one of you. But I love looking at what the effects are sometimes. So I like to see all the effects. Sometimes I'll try this. Sometimes I'll try this. Sometimes I'll try this. Sometimes I'll try... So I enjoy my filters. So I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. Live active, live fit 30. Hi Puja ma'am, I'm getting so down because I have to move too much from my home to my parents' home and I become so stressed. I feel like I'm losing so much of my time. I know that's important also. Honestly, I have no idea why you have to move so much. That reason is not given, so I'm not able to give you an answer. You need to reconsider that, you know what, all of this stress and all of the time that you're losing, how could you have been more productive while serving your parents and yourself? There are a lot of times in our life where we feel like we don't have a choice. But the truth is we always do. It's just that we haven't seen the choices of our life. So today, sit down and literally make a list of, okay, if I had to go and stay only on the weekends with my parents, then what option do I have? If I had to only go once a month to do all of what they need from me, then could they organize themselves in that manner? You know, I remember at one point, for every small damn thing, my staff would be sending my driver कि अब नींबू ले आओ, अब chips ले आओ, अब ये ले आओ, अब वो ले आओ, and they thought that's the only way to do it. Then I made them put a list on the fridge and said, you know what, on this you will keep writing everything that is not there, and only once a day you can send him out. Eventually we made it only twice a week you can send him out. So there's always a solution, sweetheart. You can share your responsibilities with your sibling. You can tell your parents on some things. They can take help from their siblings or people around them. Like my parents will sometimes approach the neighbor downstairs, because I don't live in the same city as my parents. My brother doesn't live in the same city as my parents. So they'll be approaching the neighbor downstairs because they have a young son who will come up and help my parents set up the Netflix account or set up the something, and they're so grateful to him. Or their driver is educated, so they'll use him for some things. I don't know how you are going to get out of this situation. I'm just throwing random things at you. What I know is this exhaustion is not serving you. It's not serving your family. You're going to be irritated and angry most of the time. And we are thinking this is the best way to be. Absolutely not. To a mother, to a child, to a daughter, to everyone I say, for every relationship that you want to prioritize, if you forgot to prioritize yourself, that's the end of that relationship, because you know what? You're going to have bitterness and resentful feeling towards the exact relationship that you're trying to save. So instead of saving it, you're actually killing it, because every day you're pouring acid on that plant and you're thinking somehow this flower will blossom. This flower cannot blossom. They will be not grateful because the way they are receiving your love is not right. You will not be grateful because you are overdoing it. You do half of what you're doing, but do it with a smile. It will be better for everybody. So see what you can take from it, because I still don't know why you are leading this kind of life. Okay? Nadi Cheta. Hi ma'am, my marriage is about to get fixed. It's an arranged marriage. How to check if he's the one? I felt like the vibe matches. Also, I feel I look fat beside him. How not to get affected? Oh, so cute. So I think when you're having an arranged marriage, one is to just tap into your own intuition in your gut to feel the chemistry. That are you feeling attracted to this person? Are you feeling energetically aligned with this person, which I can clearly see you are, because you do see that like you felt like the vibe was there, the vibe matches. That's a great place to be in. One of the things, if I had a daughter, that I would like to tell her to check with the man, it would be, what are his goals in life? Are we in alignment with our value system? Does he value family? Does he value money? Does he value his career? Does he value relationships? What are his values? When we understand someone's values, even more than Janam Kundli, I like to match the value system of a person, because it becomes so much easier when the base values are similar rather than too different. If you are someone who values dash and he's someone who values dash, then you're constantly going to be struggling to prioritize the right thing. Because Puneet and I both tend to prioritize family, it is so easy and smooth for us. Our love language mein gift comes last. 25th anniversary, he didn't give me anything, I didn't give him anything. People are asking us, kya diya ek dusre ko? I'm like, nothing. Because both of us know that materialistic things give neither of us any pleasure. तो फिर क्यों? हाँ, नाम का अगर देना एक Chanel bag तो दे दो, but it will not do anything for me apart from maybe 5 minutes of a smile. That's all. So I think that that's so important to match your vibe or to match your value system. Another thing I like to see is this person inspiring or expiring? And what do I mean by that? Sometimes you can like the person for who he is, but it is very important for the person, for you to like the person on how he makes you feel when you're with him. I'll repeat this whole thing, okay? Sometimes we like the person. He's successful, he's handsome, he's rich, he's smart, he's funny. Superb. That's a very nice person to have around in your life, correct? But can I tell you something even more important? The even more important is, how does this person make you feel when you're around him? Okay? So if you feel pretty, if you feel smart, if you feel valued, if you feel respected, if you feel loved, to me that is 10 times more important than whatever he is. Okay? So that's a very important thing. Now, when you said I feel fat beside him, I'd love for you to literally ask him, I feel fat beside you, and see, and wait and watch and see what is his response. If he says something like, oh, I'm going to help you lose weight, and you know what, it's very important that you lose some weight for the shadi, then you know that he's not accepting you and loving you for who you are, but with the fantasy of who you can be. And you don't want to marry people who have a fantasy of you. You want to marry someone who likes you exactly for who you are. I am more in weight than Mr. Gupta, and I can tell you, because he makes me feel so pretty, that our relationship works so well, I feel fat with him. Like, he is skinny. The other day we went to a shop in Vietnam, and it was so funny because he was buying golf pants, and even the smallest size in the shop was big for him, and the biggest size in the shop was small for me. And I was just like, oh God, this is so embarrassing. But you know what he said? His immediate response was, I don't think this shop is meant for us. Where he included me so very sweetly without making me feel bad or hurt or this or that. He's like, I find you sexy. What is there? And you know what? That's the kind of man you want to be with, who makes you feel comfortable, who makes you feel comfortable in your body, who makes you feel... Doesn't mean he doesn't inspire me. He's all about healthy eating. And if he sees me eating unhealthy, he does get upset with me. But as weight is concerned, I'd love for you to check, what does he think of you? Okay? So these are all different things you can do. There is a lovely list of questions that you can actually ask if you just Google questions that I can ask my man before we get married, you'll see a set of 100 questions show up. Choose your favorite 5 questions from that, and next time when you sit down with him, see if you want to just say, you know what, let's play a game together. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You can ask me back those same 5 questions, and let's see whether our answers reveal anything to us. For me, the very important part of someone getting married now would be, do you see a future building together? Okay? So a lot of times it's not about finding Mr. Right, it's making the man that you marry right. And how does that work? When you have a future building together. And that's so important, because if you can't see the future together, let's say he's saying in 2 years, I'd like to move to America, but you have aging parents that you definitely don't want to leave, and you are the only child. Can you see how there's a mismatch in the future? So the more you can connect at the future level, the easier the journey with him will be. So see how you can use all of this, my darling. Harmony White Hajira is asking, saying, listening to you is really helpful. Having lost both my parents recently, feeling really left out and missing the love and care. Hajira, where you are at in your life, sweetheart, it's never easy. You know, to lose both parents, I think, is one of the hardest things to go through, because it's literally like you knew someone had your back, and now if you do land up feeling lost and lonely and missing them and love and all of that. But you know what? My suggestion to you would be, build a new relationship with their soul energy. So while they've left the physical plane, you can so feel them in the soul plane. There are songs that are being played sometimes around you where you think of them. There are smells that you can connect with. There is food that you can connect with them over. There are days when you can literally ask them the question and you will hear an answer, sometimes maybe in the voice of your father or your mother. I always say the children who've lost their parents have a hotline with God. You don't even need God now. You can directly communicate with your parents, and your parents will make sure that every morning they go and tell God exactly what it is you want. And I want you to notice the blessings, luck, and the miracles of your life is going to suddenly expand and increase. Why do I say that? Because the minute you lose your parent, now you have someone at an astral level protecting you. So I always say that people who have their parents have to protect themselves. People whose parents are sitting in heaven have an extra layer of protection, that at all times, if you are in touch with your intuition, with your gut, with your with that extra sixth sense, as you may call it, you will know that, you know what, there's a constant guidance that is kind of like an umbrella covering you at all times, protecting you. And once you start to associate with all of that, what I have said right now, you will start to feel so much stronger. And I'm not joking. There will be times where you will literally be able to go that, you know what, how did that just happen? This is not a coincidence. You know, tell the universe to show you signs that your parents are watching over you. Feathers, butterflies, flowers, numbers. These are angelic ways of connecting with the other realm. Okay, so just start to observe. If you see loose feather somewhere, or you see a butterfly flying by, or if you see all of these, look at firstly what are the signs of the universe, and then just start to look for them. And literally there will be days where you'll just feel like, my parents are sitting right beside me, or this thought wasn't mine. I think it's been planted by my parents, or my parents are guiding me. And you'll be amazed at how divinely protected you're going to start to feel, and how loneliness will just vanish, because you'll feel so fulfilled, so complete, sometimes even more than if they were on earth. Even more, it's possible. All right, Radha Ram 111 is asking how to boost self-confidence. So I think confidence boosting happens at many levels. First level is, of course, how you look and appear. Work on how you look and appear. It's not about what the color of your skin is, or what your height is, or what your size is, or whatever you are, can you make the best of it? So whatever cards that are dealt to us, whether we are a van or a Maruti or a, I don't even know names of cars, so I can't even take all the names, but you know what I mean, right? No matter what our shape or size is, first let's work on, can we keep our hair well? Can we keep our face well? Can we do nice skincare routine? Can we keep our clothes? Can we dress up well? Can we not be, jhalli? Ek hota hai na, that nobody, who cares how I look? Ek hota hai, every morning you dress up for you. So my first confidence tip is for you to work on you when it comes to just your physical attributes. It gives a lot of confidence when you're feeling pretty. Okay, for a woman especially, it helps a lot. Then of course is your inner confidence. So this is outer confidence, there's inner confidence. How do you work on your inner confidence? Just by your body language. Look at what your posture is. Are you someone who slouches, whose energy is weak energy, or are you someone who's radiant, who's, being present with people, eye contact, shaking hands properly, making sure that you are in power poses, having a straight back is so freaking helpful. You literally can't have less confidence if you have a straight spine. So spine and confidence are directly connected. Your chin slightly higher. So you do this versus you do this. This is slightly higher and that's slightly higher. So your physiology impacts your psychology. Your psychology can impact your physiology. Now you start to use your physiology, your entire body language to work with your psychology of confidence. Okay, that's the second thing. And the third and the last and the most important and the most core from where I get all of my confidence is to say what I mean and mean what I say. A person who's dependable, there is a trust factor between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. When you say you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and you wake up tomorrow morning, you gain confidence. When you say I'm going to go visit my parents, you go actually visit your parents, you gain confidence. Every time you say something and you actually mean it, you gain confidence. So you want to become extremely confident, just become an extremely trustworthy person. Trustworthy not just for others. We are easy to keep promises that we make to others. We are pathetic at keeping promises that we make to ourselves. How many of you know what I just said? Yes? So I'd love for you to start to go, you know what, these are the 3 promises I'm going to keep for myself this month. I'm going to do my morning gratitude. I'm going to go for a 20 minutes walk and I'm going to read for 10 minutes. And then do those 3 things. Confidence gets gained when we take small risks and we accomplish them. Small risk, accomplish. Small risk, accomplish. Small risk, accomplish. Confidence is a muscle that gets gained by the commitments that we keep. So you want to gain confidence, gain commitment muscle. And commitment muscle is every tick that you have on a commitment that you kept, built your muscle. So don't try to, from day one, think that, you know what, you're going to be able to do it all. If you say it, you'll do it. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to take small risks, accomplish, do it for 14, 21 days, then add something else. Then do it for another 14, 21 days, then add something else. And slowly but surely, you'll start to feel so confident. So outer confidence is the mask or the facade we put up when we don't have inner confidence. But when we put our outer confidence and then we marry it to our inner confidence and then we marry it to our core confidence, then that person appears to be charismatic. So what is a charismatic person? What is a person who has magnetic pull energy? You'll see confident people will often have this magnetic pull energy. It comes from the harmony that they create at all the 3 levels. When you are charismatically pulled towards someone, when they start to become magnetic towards you, it's because all of their 3 levels of confidence are in alignment with who they are. And that's when magic starts to happen in your life. So all the very best. I don't know if this was too detailed an answer for this platform, but any which ways. Poonam is asking, hey Pooja, thank you so much for having thought spot in my career front and no finances coming in. What can I do to feel relaxed? Thank you so much for having thought spot in my career. Ooh, I don't know what that means, Poonam, unfortunately. I don't know what is a thought spot. But I do understand that if there's no finances coming in and if you're in your career stuck with something, then I'd love for you to start to look at how can you work with your... See, I don't know whether you're in a job or you're in a business. If you are in a business, which is what I'm thinking, the first 2 years in a business, we actually land up investing money. The next 2 years in a business, we actually land up just making back what we had invested. And it's only by the 4th, 5th year that we literally sit down with making profits. So if you are in a business and currently finances are not coming in, I don't want you to worry too much, because this is your period of making the mistakes and building your competency and your skill set rather than looking at the finances. If we start to look at the finances too early in our business, a lot of times what happens is that we get lost in building something that could have been really... I was watching an Alex Homrosi reel, which was really nice, because he was saying that, you know, he had these boxes and he said, if I have to make a 5 feet tall building, I can just keep the boxes like this. But he said if I have to put a 6th floor to it, it won't be able to take it because the 5 floors will fall because they are so flimsy. But instead, if I had the boxes kept horizontal rather than vertical, then I can go up to the 15th floor, but it will take me much longer to build this building. And I think a lot of us in business, the mistake we are making sometimes, especially regarding the finances, is we are trying to earn too fast. When you try to earn too fast, guess what? Your foundation is very weak. Okay, because you are monetizing too fast. So my suggestion, build it right. And building it right takes time. So you're going to have to see how you can manage your finances in a manner that your career it doesn't peak too fast and you're able to earn a lot for a much longer time. Alpita, hi Puja, I live with my in-laws and a few things about her I cannot let go, even though now she doesn't say much, but she doesn't give my kids anything or show any love or even any gifts on any occasion. Alpita, my sweetheart, these are all expectations that are only creating suffering in your life. You let go of these expectations, you see how beautiful your life will become. Now, I know that letting go of expectations is not easy, but learning to manage your disappointments is so important. You know, I'll have couples come to me where they, the lady will be like, but he's not romantic. And I'm like, how many years have you known him? 20 years. And 20 years you've been playing the same record of he's not romantic, he's not romantic. And you know what's happened in the process? You forgot to notice everything that he was. And I'm going to say the same thing to you. Maybe your mother-in-law is not into gifts. Maybe she does not believe in giving. Maybe she herself is scarcity in her personality. She's not received it, so she doesn't give it. I don't know what her issue is. What I know is, give yourself the gifts. Take it from your husband. You buy your children something. Leave it. No, there are things that she must be good at. She may be good at cooking. She may be making lovely meals. Maybe she's just a quiet, silent person and at least she's not interfering or at least she's not controlling. I don't know whatever. There's a list of things she's not, but there's a list of things she is. And you develop the eyes to be able to see the things in her that you couldn't see up until now because you were so focused on what you were not getting. The problem in our life right now is that we are seeking that we can't get and ignoring all that we are getting. And that's becoming everyone's problem right now. And so I think the one shift we have to make in our life is to start to get grateful for what we have and to start to let go of what the other person is not capable of giving us. I could have spent my whole life complaining about how my husband's not giving me the kind of money he has or why he's not giving me time or why he's not. But I chose to write gratitude every day. 5 gratitudes, 5 gratitudes, 5 gratitudes towards Puneet, till my brain could not see the minus in him. You know, even now when we fight, I'll write out 50 gratitudes just to redo my brain process because I don't want to live in not being grateful for life. God's done so much. If you are sitting and listening to that into this Insta Live, you have a luxury of being free on a Wednesday afternoon to have the ability to come here. You are already, according to me, 1% of the world. When 1% people complain about life, God doesn't know where to go from here. For him, these are his Ferrari people. Every single one of you who's watching, you are a Ferrari person. Your job in this world is actually not to take, it is to give. You are already in the 1%. God's given you so much if you develop the eyes to see it. You develop the eyes to see it, you just see how much more he'll give you because the more we are grateful, the more he gives. Yeah? God bless you. Today you are shimmering, Puja. Yes, I am, I know. I will be attending your awakening program from tomorrow. Massive welcome to you, Parul. So excited about you coming in for awakening. I really hope it is as life-changing as I believe it is. And you have a fabulous experience. And I'm going to be sharing all of what I have learned over the 13 years of me being life coach in the 4 sessions, the 4 Thursdays. So very, very excited to have every single one of you that's going to be joining Awakening tomorrow. Okay, let's go right to the bottom. We are already at 4:41. I can still take questions for another 15 minutes. Then we'll do the photo and then I will run, okay? please share the filter that you use. Okay, I will take a picture of the filter that I've used and I will share it in my stories. Okay, I don't know the name. I think it's Bell TikTok or something like that. I'm not sure. Arifa Mushrif. Hi Pooja, I'm starting to become a coach. However, I don't see any response on my posts and I'm feeling very down. So Arifa, the first 90 days of posting on social media is not for likes, comments and shares. It is for building a library. You are currently in that phase where you still have to make a mark. It's like creating one piece of art and saying, but I'm an artist and no one is buying my art. It doesn't work like that, okay? This is not how you approach social media. Social media is you continuously adding value till a time comes where people start to respond slowly and surely. There was a time literally where I would put a post and the only two people who liked it would be my mother and my brother, okay? And that's how we all started. You know, when people say, Pooja, how come from every holiday of yours you land up doing Insta Live? I always say this. It was so hard in the beginning when you don't even get 10 people. I used to write out my own questions and keep कि अगर किसी ने कुछ नहीं पूछा तो I'll just pretend कि you know अच्छा okay Madhu is asking and I would just make up my own questions so that I could answer so that I could spend the 1 hour, right? So I just want you to know, Arifa, we've all started with nothing. Okay, the first 90 days, if you start to look too much for likes and comments and shares and subscribers and all of that, you'll become a beggar. Okay, I want you to be a queen. What does a queen do? She adds value and then waits. Don't be a honeybee going flower to flower. Become the flower that is so beautiful, that is so fragrant, that is so attractive that people will eventually come to you. But for that, it takes time. Okay, it takes time to build that relationship. It takes time to build that trust. And because we live in the fast world where we want fast food, fast fashion, fast results, fast everything, I think business is becoming very, very challenging because of the speed at which we want things to work for us, because we tend to compare our first chapter with people's 10th chapter. There'll be people who'll be looking at my Insta Live. I've done 100 से भी ज़्यादा Insta Lives as on today. Every week for the last 2-3 years. How can you compare? And not that you are comparing, but when I hear people speak about, you know, but Pooja, I'm not getting any response, I'm not getting any. Nahi meri jaan. The whole game of social media is to keep posting and have the patience for it to catch traction. Okay? So in the beginning, especially the first 90 days, treat it like a library. Right now, just put your best content out there. And sometimes I'll even hear people say this, that you know what, Pooja, I'm saving my best stuff for when I have followers. You are not going to get followers if you're saving your best stuff for when you have followers. To get the followers, you please put your best stuff now, and then you can always repurpose the same content by just changing the design or the way you've said it or the hook line, and you can still use all of your amazing. Literally, if you go to every Insta Live, you'll see me answering the same question in 15 different ways. आज ऐसा वाला आंसर दिया, उस ऐसा वाला आंसर दिया, फिर ऐसा वाला आंसर दिया. क्यों? Why do I do that? Just to keep it interesting, right? So same way, don't keep your best content for after you have followers. You won't get followers if you don't put out your best content. Okay? Amita Avasthi, how to make my husband be more appreciative and expressive towards me? Amita, I think there are a few things that you may need to sit down and do with him, okay? One I call is a very sweet barter system. What is a barter system? Where you sit down and ask him, what is it that you need from me? Okay? And then see what are the things he needs from you. Like I remember my husband would say, I want towels in the bathroom, I want powder, I want batteries in my remote control, his love language was acts of service. And I said, okay, I will happily do that. In return, this is what I need. I need you to give me a compliment every day at 7 p.m. Put a reminder on your phone that compliment Pooja at 7 p.m. And it has to be genuine. So you're going to have to look around and say, oh, today her hair is looking nice. Pooja, your hair is looking very nice. Today, I love the flowers that you've put in the house. Today, I love something. You're going to have to be genuine about it. And can I tell you, over the years, him practicing that has helped us in making sure that he knows now my love language is acts, words of appreciation. His love language is acts of service. So he is someone who likes it where he should be able to bring his friends home at any time and I should be able to organize dinner. So I don't say no to him, he doesn't say no to me, and that's another second point that you can actually practice with one another, which is, you know what, let's for 1 week try not saying no to one another. Now both of us are mature adults, we're not going to ask each other for things that the other person can't give, but at least something that where you'll have to land up stretching yourself. So that's another way of, you know, getting your man to be appreciative and expressive, where you start to cater to his needs and he starts to cater to yours. Okay, so that's a, now let's say your man doesn't want anything from you and all he wants is space, or all he wants is you to not irritate him or bug him with any of this. Then I would say, you know what, start to work on you. What I am seeing in relationships is that when the woman is needy, the man is running away. Okay, as the woman starts to work on herself and she starts to become fully complete and he starts to be totally complete, and when two complete people come together, guess what? Appreciation and expression automatically comes into the relationship. So when you're not needy and you're not operating from being highly independent or highly dependent, and you operate from the energy of that confidence that if I get it, it's great, and if I don't, I can still manage. That's the energy that really works beautifully in the relationship. So I, for the longest time, was simply a beggar of asking Puneet for appreciation, compliments, acknowledgements, importance, like you can imagine, like I was literally, and you know what, then for a couple of years I started to give myself that. I would stand in front of the mirror and go, wow Puja, you were so amazing today, you did this today, you did that today, and I started to fill me up. I started to have a deeper relationship with my own God, and I started to go, you know what, I don't want to be so beggary or needy in my energy. I want to fulfill myself, and the more I did for the world, you cannot raise someone's self-esteem and not have your self-esteem go up. So as I kept helping people, my own self-esteem started to go up, and a time came where I started to notice Puneet's eyes from being derogatory or judgmental started to change into becoming like he was appreciative and admiring. And I remember experiencing that shift. So I don't know what you do in your life, Amita, but I'd love for you to know that the more respect, the more love, the more value you are going to have for you as a person, automatically that's what the other person, till the time we want them to fill our value, our boxes, it doesn't happen. The day we start to become someone in our own eyes, that's when we start to get it from the world. And can I tell you, our spouse is the last person who's going to appreciate and admire us. So the job of a spouse is not to put us on a pedestal or to put us on the pit. The job of a spouse is to actually bring out our most authentic self. So it's authenticity that a marriage works with. Okay, so if you have to be authentic with one another, if you have to be real with one another, then you know what is one of the most important things you have to do? You have to get real with yourself. That means you have to first fall in love with you before anyone else can fall in love with you. All right, you are such a great person. You are great. I wish all youngsters listen to you. You should also help in school children to become more positive. Oh, thank you. Definitely will keep it in mind. So cute. Dr. Shaina saying, thank you for existing in the same timeline, resonating with everything that you say. Oh my God, that's such a cute compliment. Thank you for existing in the same timeline. I'm definitely using this compliment on someone. Shalini is asking how to make work done by staff in business. Shalini, I have a 3-step formula that I follow around this whole concept. So let me give it to you. Okay, so when I hire anybody, the most important thing that I'm checking for is he a horse or a zebra? Okay, now what's the difference between a horse and a zebra? Horse is tameable. You can train a horse. Zebra is not. Okay, so sometimes what happens is we land up hiring someone thinking that they are a horse, but they turn out to be or come out to be zebras. So how do you identify between the two? Now this is what I do. Step 1, is to show them what I want them to do for me. Okay, so if I can show it to them, let's take staff of the house, just for example's sake. So let's say I like my morning tea tray to be a certain way. I like it to have a small glass of water. I want it to have my coffee. I want a small little rose in a small little shooter glass as my vase. I want a napkin and maybe a spoon and my nuts. I'm just giving an example, right? So the first day, what I'll do is I'll set it for them and allow them to watch it. If they want, they can even draw it out on a piece of paper and stick it on the kitchen door. Okay, so whatever they need to do, but I will show it to them. The next time when I go in, now this is their turn to do it and for me to supervise. So they will set the whole tray and I'll be looking at them and saying, वो फूल उधर उस वाले ग्लास में नहीं, उस वाले ग्लास में डालना है, वो वाला नैपकिन नहीं, ये वाला नैपकिन होना चाहिए, नहीं ये छोटा ग्लास पानी मांगा है, ये तुमने बड़े ग्लास में डाल दिया है. And what will I be doing? I will be supervising. So the first time around, I show it to them. Second time around, I supervise them closely. Third time around, I let them do it and I give them feedback after, which means I'm not going to stand in the kitchen. I'm going to come out. I will let them bring it to me. What I will not do is accept substandard, which means I will not say, अभी तुमने पानी का ग्लास नहीं रखा, कुछ नहीं होता, कल जरूर याद रखना. Wrong strategy. You have to send back the same tray and say पानी का ग्लास रख के वापस लेके आओ. Okay? So how do you delegate? You delegate by first showing them, second supervising, third letting them do it on their own and giving them feedback. Okay? Now you will allow them 1, 2 or 3 times more to make whatever mistakes they want to make. So yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag, red flag, or yellow flag, red flag. Okay? Which means if after doing this whole thing, he's still not able to set the tray for me, that means he's a zebra, not a horse. It's time to let him go. Otherwise, he's going to land up spoil my personality. And one of the things you want to be extra careful around is your team, whether at work or at home or your staff, can ruin your personality. You may be a very loving person, but because you are because you are tolerating an inefficient person who's refusing to learn, you are going to land up doing it for him rather than he doing it for you. Okay? You will become constantly upset, angry, irritated, frustrated. Is it worth it? Absolutely not. So to train anyone at work, then you give them the yellow flag, and eventually it should be a green flag where they should take over. Literally, I will travel all around the world and come back and my team would have done it all and I will just start with my deliveries. I just get amazed at how amazing Team Life by Design is, and that I can only say because they really put in an effort to learn. And in my office, one of the rules I have is you never apologize for what you did wrong. You only tell me what you learned and what will not happen again. So thank you is the right word, not sorry. So sorry Puja, we forgot to send that message. No. Thank you Puja for reminding us that we were supposed to send that message. Next time it won't happen. That's all I want to know. Next time it will not happen. And because of that continuous learning and having a safe space to make mistakes, make new mistakes, I would say, not make mistakes, but make new mistakes. When you give a safe space to your staff to make new mistakes, then you know what happens? Then everybody grows. Okay, I am someone who gives a lot of space after I've finished my training. Okay, things that I'm fussy about, they will know because I will catch them because I'm an excellent supervisor. I will make sure that I supervise and watch very closely in the beginning so that when I delegate that duty, I never have to look at it again. Okay, so see how you can use any of this as you train your staff in your business. All right, we are at 4:55. Let me go right to the bottom. Why is Insta changing your voice as a male in between? I have no idea. Ma'am, what I love about you is how genuine you are. Thank you for noticing. That's so sweet of you. Oh, nice. Awesome. So on that note, let's do this. Let's take a picture. I'd love for you to share it in your stories. What was your biggest takeaway from today? Remember, when I speak a lot, so if you try to take in everything, then nothing gets registered. So it's always great to, anytime you listen to a podcast, anything that you listen to which is longer than 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, you want to always ask yourself, what was my biggest takeaway from this? And even if you have just one learning, and you keep that learning, that's far superior than learning 10 things but not applying anything. I would rather you take one thing and you actually apply it than, have learnings that you don't apply. So what I'd love for you to do under this video is, once I post it, I'd love for you to share what was your biggest takeaway. You can share it in your stories if you like, or you can share it in the comments box below. Right? Okay, I'll finish quickly, take one last question and then we'll close. Okay? Durgeshweta Gupta is asking, ma'am, I want to join a course for guidance. Please help. I would love to help you. I have a beautiful course starting tomorrow morning called Awakening. Please get in touch with Gunjan. Gunjan's number is going to be under this video as soon as I post it. And she will be able to help you and guide you with how you can join one of my courses. Yeah? Ma'am, I'm in Germany. Can I still attend Awakening? You absolutely can. My suggestion to you would be that if you can't come live, you can literally watch the recording of it. Okay, so because you're out of the country, we give you that permission. What will be the time there? It starts at 9:30 India, so it will be like some 4 o'clock in the morning. You will have to wake up to attend Awakening. If you're not able to do that, we will give you a big sister, not to worry, who will guide you through the whole process and hold your hand all through Awakening. We have a lot of people who join from Australia, America, Morocco, France, so Germany. No problem at all, okay? So don't worry at all. All you need to do is speak to Gunjan. She'll guide you on how to make the payment, and then Aja Meri Jaan. How to join your courses? Call the number below, Gunjan's number, and make sure you speak to her and she will guide you and help you. Or go to my link tree and it might just take you to one of my masterclasses from where also you can join my courses. Watching live NY early morning, also very amazing. Try it if it's possible. You are not highlighting my stories and takeaways. I wrote beautiful takeaways for the last Love Bubble session. Sasmita, trust me, I have nothing personally against you. I don't even know you, Meri Jaan. So for every single one of you who feels like Pooja is not answering my questions, Pooja is not sharing my stories, Pooja is not giving me any importance, it's not personal, okay? And that's such a great and important lesson to learn. I try my best to do it for as many people as I can, whether it is the sharing or whether it is whatever it is, I try my best, and the intention is always to answer as many questions as I can, highlight as many people as I can, throw importance at as many. मेरा तो फायदा ही है ना, मैं क्यों नहीं करूँगी? मेरे लिए तो सब सेम है, सब इक्वल है, मैं क्यों किसी को छोड़ूंगी, right? So please, my personal apologies to anyone in this room who's ever felt कि पूजा मेरे को तो भाव नहीं देती. पूजा बहुत बैडली आपको भाव देना चाहती है, बट पूजा के कमरे इतने बड़े हो गए हैं अब कि शी हैज दिस ब्यूटीफुल प्रॉब्लम दैट इट्स इम्पॉसिबल टू गिव इम्पोर्टेंस टू एवरीवन एज मच एज शी विशेस टू. आई रिमेंबर जब सिर्फ 10 लोग आते थे, मैं उनका 10 बारी नाम लेती थी. यू नो, देयर वाज अ टाइम में हर एक इंस्टा लाइव क्वेश्चन अगर यहाँ नहीं आंसर होता था तो मैं कहती थी मेरे को इंस्टा पर्सनल मैसेज में भेजो, डीएम करो, मैं आंसर करूंगी. बट नाउ इट्स बिकम इम्पॉसिबल टू कीप ऑल ऑफ दैट. So sorry if I've hurt you in any way, or if I've ever made you feel that you're not important. I love every single one of you. If you come for my Insta lives, if you are a part of my tribe, you are family. Insta fam or course fam. I can never ever do anything to hurt you. It is completely unintentional. ठीक है मेरी जान? Love you all so much. Take care. Bye. Ciao.